Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Shad, and today we are here with another Raw Thoughts video, which we haven't done in a while, but it felt appropriate to bring the series back. This first game that we're going to be talking about, oh my god, it started off so goddamn nasty. It was such a hilariously ugly offensive game to start. The first two quarters of the whole first half was just like missed shot here, bad turnover there, blown layup here. Like both teams, it wasn't just a one team thing. Like, yeah, the Suns scored 3 points in 4 minutes to start the game. And with 4 minutes left in the second quarter, the total game score was 35-29. Bad, nasty game. And in that second quarter, the Sixers scored their first field goal at the 4-minute mark. Good God. Some other general notes. This game probably looks a lot different if PG does his job. And I was happy for Bradley Beal in this game because he performed off the bench. He looked extremely comfortable, but we're going to talk about that in a little bit. There were a couple things that I wanted to watch for specifically with this game, and one was watching Tyrese Maxey first option hoops. There was no Drummond, there was no Embiid, so I wanted to watch out for how the Sixers manned the paint and how they did rebounding wise. And I also wanted to look at how the new Sun starters look, and specifically how Bradley Beal looked off the bench. So first off, this is different from the topics that I wanted to watch the game for, but holy hell, Booker and PG weren't on anything this game. Book started 1 of 10 in the first half, and it was like there were some of them that were gimmies, right? There were some of the shots that Devin Booker makes on a daily basis, eyes closed, whatever, but they weren't falling this game. He wasn't finishing at the rim early on, and this is a credit to the Sixers defense because they were not making it easy for him. Like, Devin Booker is a tough shot maker, but tough shot is still a tough shot, and if you can put defense on it, the only thing you can really do is play that tough defense. So shout out to the Sixers defense as a whole. Shout out to Caleb Martin specifically for the job that he did on Booker in terms of making his work a little bit harder for him. Caleb Martin in general has been having a good string of games, so shout out to you. But specifically with this game, I like the defense that he was playing on Devin Booker. And with PG, it's been a season-long problem, obviously, with the inconsistencies and generally bad play. It's been upsetting to see it continue as the season goes on because you'd like to see him go back to some sort of all-star, all-NBA form. But it sucks to see that he's not performing at the level that we're used to seeing from him. He was just taking some really rough shots this game. He was forcing looks, trying to get contact. It wasn't working for him tonight at all. Credit the Suns defense, once again, not giving him any sort of wiggle room. Like, PG was taking some really, really bad shots, and a lot of that was because of the length on him. Tyrese played big minutes this game, ended up playing, I believe, over 42 minutes, finished 31 and 10. He was scoring at the three-point line, getting to the hole. Typical Tyrese Maxey scoring effort. He finished 11 of 25 from the field, so pretty efficient there. His 10 assists were I don't want to say fake. I hate describing shit in the NBA as fake. It's like just the number alone. Most of them were pretty regular chest passes to a shooter that was next to him. There weren't many dynamic reads involved in the assist that he was getting, which I'm not gonna knock him for because on the other side of that, he did have a couple of dribble drive kicks to open shooters. He hit Bana on a roll with a nice bounce pass that led to a bucket. And there's honestly still something to be said about being safe with the ball, taking care of it, notching 10 assists while only having 4 turnovers, but only 2 of those turnovers were from an actual bad pass. So he still had a really solid, productive, safe playmaking game overall. They just weren't 10 dynamic assists that you look to and be like, oh, he had a really, really good playmaking game this year, or this game. He made the most threes on the team. He got the offense going. He got the ball to the teammates in their spots, and he had a pretty good game on his own. He had a really good game on his own. I can't knock him for anything, really. And I'm glad he's performing in the absence of Joel Embiid, because I know that's been a narrative. Is he an Embiid merchant? I wouldn't say he is, but he's just, I'm just glad he had a good performance. Bradley Beal off the bench. I feel like condensing his time and maximizing his impact in that time is what I loved the most about him coming off the bench. Because this is a top 5 game for him this season, and it came off the first game of him coming off the bench. And 25 points, 10 of 15 from the field, 3 threes, 5 assists, no turnovers. He looked extremely comfortable in all of his scoring opportunities. Like I said, only missing those 5 shots. There was no problems blowing by defenders. He was getting downhill easy. He was working the Nurkic screens pretty well. He had a game. And whether it's the trade speculation that boosted him up, whether it was the benching that lit a fire under him, maybe he wanted to just play better because his ego was a little bit hurt. I don't really know what it was specifically, and I don't think I ever will know unless they say it. But either way, it led to some pretty fun hoops overall from him. So shout out to Brad Beal off the bench for embracing that role and actually playing and helping contribute to a win in that position. I want to end this video with a couple of role player shouts. So first of all, shout out to Gershon Yabusele. He's had to step up and be a center for this team, a starter and a backup center, and he's been providing when he does get big minutes. Like you see what he can do. He's an impactful player on the court for the Sixers. The rebounding thing that I wanted to talk about and how the Sixers would deal with that in the absence of Embiid and Drummond. Gershon had 5 offensive rebounds. He also had 5 defensive rebounds, and the Sixers ended up winning the rebounding battle in general, and I feel like a lot of that was because of him. He had a couple threes that game. He went 3 of 8, I believe. He took quite a bit, but like I said, he made 3 of them, so I'm not really going to complain about that at all. Overall, I've really liked his play all season long, and I think in this game specifically, he did a pretty good job of filling in at that 5 spot, especially for being undersized. Shout out to Gershon. On over to the Sun side, I wanted to talk about Ryan Dunn for a second. He started this season really, really hot from 3, ended up cooling all the way off offensively, and has now recently put together a string of good games. This game in particular, he started the game 1 for 4, ended 6 of 11 with a couple threes made. Like he's, his addition to this team, despite all of the uncertainty and all of the like, what are the Suns gonna do? Who are they gonna trade? What is this team gonna look like in a month or so? In the midst of all that, I've really liked what Ryan Dunn has provided in a two-way fashion for this team, because there were a couple of shots this game that he was affecting with his length and his defense. Overall, I believe he deserves a shout for this game because he was one of the contributing factors on the offense for the Suns, especially in that second half. And then staying on the Sun side, I want to talk about Osa Ighodaro for a second, because this was a name that I wholeheartedly and truthfully was not familiar with until the start of this season. But I really do like him. Like in watching a couple more Suns game and watching his minutes, he's the prototypical big. Like he's efficient at the rim, efficient in the paint. He's a good roll man. He's able to put the ball on the floor sometimes, like that fake DHO that he did with, I believe it was Devin Booker or Bradley Beal. Took it to the paint, finished with a floater. That was a really nice play from him. He's athletic. He's a good rebounder. He can patrol the paint on defense. And he was also a +6 in this game in his 21 minutes. So yeah, he deserves a shout. If you like this video, please hit the thumb. Please sub if you haven't already. And if you've been watching my videos for a while, please check again to see if you are subscribed, because I know some people forget. I've done it with other creators, so just want to remind y'all to subscribe. My next video topics are going to be as follows, with no specific order and in no specific date at all. Y'all let me know what you want to see me talk about outside of these things. Thank you for watching all the way through. If you got to the end, I appreciate you. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace out.